Good morning, councillors. May we please take our seats so that we can be counted? Let's take our seats, councillors, please. MMC offense with the Bibles of the state. Please take your seat. Thank you very much. Take your seats, councillors. Councillor Nhlapo, can I stop that meeting, please? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, councillors. We are a quorum. Now we are continuing with our meeting. Councillor Ngobeni, thank you. Thank you. Let's start our meeting. Honorable Alderwomen, Aldermen, and councillors, due notice was given to this special meeting. We are a quorum, and I therefore declare the meeting duly constituted. I trust that you have all signed the attendance register for this meeting. Kindly note that it is of critical importance that you sign the attendance register. If you do not sign the attendance register, you will be marked as absent from this meeting in the minutes. May we now begin with our special council meeting by observing a moment of silence in prayer or meditation, please. Thank you. His Worship, the Executive Mayor, Honorable Chief Kekana and his entourage, Honorable Chief Mahlangu and his entourage, members of the Mayoral Committee, leader of the Executive Business, Chief Whip of Council, Chair of Chairs, Chairpersons of Section 79 committees, leaders of all political parties represented in Council, honorable councillors, officials, members of the media, esteemed City of Tshwane residents, and the public. I welcome you all to this special council meeting. Honorable councillors, the purpose of this meeting, this special council meeting, is to deliberate on the adjustment budget 2022-2023, adjusted SDBIP 2022-2023, draft 2023-2024 budget, and IDP, as well as the legislative report. Applications for leave of absence. Honorable councillors, for purposes of informing council in as far as leave of absence for councillors from the council meeting is concerned, I will now call on the Chief Whip of Council to present to Council the approved leave of absence and of absence of councillors. Chief Whip of Council.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the following councillors have been approved in line with our city's processes in acquiring leave of absence. Councillor N. Patel of the ANC, leave. Councillor Grandi Tennyson, Freedom Front Plus, sick leave. Councillor N. Mhlongo, EFF, sick leave. And Councillor B. Rasweswe, EFF, sick leave. No councillors requested to leave early and no councillors requested to arrive late. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. Official notices, there are none. Unopposed proposal by the Speaker and other proposals allowed by the Speaker, there are none. Now Now we are going straight to the items. As all of you that you know, this is a continuation meeting from yesterday. And now we are going straight to the reports.
No, thanks, Speaker. I was just checking with Councillor McCallan that when we left the meeting in a boardroom, there was a request that we should give feedback to our respective caucuses. And we left in a rush so that we can open the meeting and honor the 11 o'clock start time and the invitation. Thereafter, we then immediately take our respective caucuses and find a mechanism of giving feedback from our caucuses on the issues that were discussed there, so that council can resume. We can agree on time that is required. 40 minutes can work for us, all of us, to come back and give feedback.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Will it be fine if I say now it's 11:25, then if we can have up to 12:15, then we are all back here. Eh? Yes.
No, Speaker, we've agreed that we will ask for a caucus. Now, because McCallan is scared there, the DA caucus, he's the one who've agreed in the meeting that he's going to call a caucus. Now he's not raising his hand. Now Councillor Maluleka is raising his hand. After we agreed with times, then the caucus says 12. Why were they not raising the 12? So you can't allow your rulings to be undermined like that. You said Corabas, we were agreeing, you are a speaker. Whatever you rule, we go with it. Because they are not speakers. They are not speakers. They have made an own goal with 69 votes. They must stomach that 69 votes that they have marked as a spoiled ballot.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Ramabut. Thank you.
Cowards.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Ramabut. I heard you. And now I'm granting you this caucus that you have not asked, because that's the report that I was given, that when I open the meeting, there will be a caucus to be asked so that you can brief your caucuses of the decision that you have taken. Councillor Alderman.
Yeah, no, thanks, Speaker. I forgot earlier on, just Councillor Mhlapu reminded me that last night Councillor Masilela was involved in a car accident. He's got a fractured leg, got injured on his neck. I don't know whether he was released yesterday, but he's badly injured. Okay. Councillor Bushelo confirms that he's at home, recovering. Therefore, we are asking that we keep him in our prayers for speedy recovery, together with Councillor Grandi. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that information. May they recover speedily, and may the Lord be with them at all times. Okay, councillors, who is asking for the caucus? Councillor Makhaleni.
It's a collective, Speaker.
Speaker, I second the request by Councillor Maluleka of 40 minutes. And therefore, it was supposed to be asked by Councillor Ratikwan, but we are taking responsibility, 40 minutes, and then it will be enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Then if we, Councillor again, thank you. Then that means we are back here at 12:10. 12:10, we are back here. Thank you.
Wena re ke tsena. Oh, ama-projectors. Angizobatshela bathi belify.
Speaker, please allow me to speak in tongues and start praying.
Councillors, can all the councillors come in so that we start? Yes, please take your seats and allow the councillors to come in. Can I be assistant on that so that we proceed? If then the quorum, and let's also check the quorum if it allows us so that we don't wait for people that might not come back. Yeah, we might wait for people, but you find out they are not coming back. Can we then check? Can we recount and check if we can continue? Please take a seat. Please be seated. Councillor Makalen, please take a seat.
Hey, Speaker,
Excuse me, sir.
some people don't want to come to work. Can you call them to come to work?
Councillors, we have a quorum. We are going to proceed with the meeting. We Can we? Councillors, it seems there are a lot of meetings. No, I must have people that respect. Sit down if you want us to start the meeting. Thank you very much. We are continuing with the meeting. Are you raising a hand? Thank you.
No, sorry, Speaker, I was a bit late. I was on the call. Can I get clarity of quorum? You said how many are we? Just to get the numbers correctly.
Including the speaker, we are 108. 109. 109 with the speaker. Yes. Then you are 110 with you. 110. Okay, over to you.
No, it's fine, Speaker. I think my caucus is delaying. I'm asking just for 3 minutes. Oh, you want to continue 107? No, go. You can go.
Councillors, please. Sorry, Councillor Ramabud. Let's allow the 3 minutes. Let's allow the councillors to come in, please. Council, 3 minutes, please get them in. Do you you've got 2 minutes left. Come in, councillors. Come in, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. Please take your seats. Take your seats, councillors. We are proceeding with the meeting. And this meeting will be finished today. Yeah. We will deliberate on all items and we will finish this meeting today. It won't be postponed, it won't be adjourned. It will be adjourned because we'll be done with the business of the day. Thank you very much. Let's move on with our meeting. Item number 1 on our report, it's on reference number 04675/1, Group Financial Services Department, proposed 2022-2023 adjustment budget. This report is on page 3 to page 153. Recommendations on 46. I've got 6 speakers on this item. Councillor Bushielo, Councillor Ace, okay, Councillor Mickelbeck.
A point of order, Mr. Speaker. The adjustments budget that was distributed to councillors as part of the agenda does not include a signed quality certificate by the municipal manager. In terms of section 28 of the MFMA, a signed quality assurance certificate by the municipal manager shall be appended to the budget. There is none. You can read that with section 5 of the municipal budgeting and reporting regulations, which also require that document to be there. Under the circumstances, it is a precondition for the tabling, of that report. Under the circumstances, this report may not be tabled by you because it is not accompanied by the quality certificate signed by the municipal manager. Thank you.
Your information or your statement is noted, Councillor Mickelbeck. But I'd like that we continue. Where's the hand? Okay. Alderman?
Actually, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Would you like me to respond or should we just continue?
Respond.
Can I respond? Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the document as submitted to you for this council meeting is indeed correct. The quality assurance statement will only be submitted within 10 days. The regulation requires that the city manager must submit to National Treasury. Once we approve this in council, that is as per section 28 of the MFMA, read with section 6 of the municipal budget and reporting regulations that stipulates which annexures must be in the adjustments budget to serve in council today. Those annexures and documents and parts do serve, and therefore that budget is correct in the correct format. The quality assurance certificate will be submitted within 10 days as prescribed by law once we approve it. And second to that, in the MSCOA, the new municipal standard accounts system that National Treasury is implementing, when that comes into play, the city manager will directly submit quality assurance certificates to National Treasury from that system. So it is indeed correct as the report is uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. Councillor Mickelbeck.
Mr. Speaker, what has just been said is misleading, and I will read to you from section 5 of the municipal budget and reporting regulations. There's no doubt what this section says. Whenever an annual budget and supporting documentations, an adjustments budget and supporting documentation, or an in-year report of a municipality is submitted to the mayor, tabled in municipal council, made public, or submitted to another organ of state, it must be accompanied by a quality certificate complying with Schedule A, B, or C, as the case may be, and it must be signed by the municipal manager. There is no 10 days or 7 days or any other days leeway here. This is the law.
Thank you, Councillor Mikkelberg. Chair of Chairs.
Mr. Speaker, you've made a ruling that we continue. Please let us continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me call back the MMC.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Speaker. My apology. Speaker, Section 6 of the Municipal Budget Reporting Regulations, Schedule B, stipulates the adjustment budget tables that must be submitted and that must be in complete interest report. The report is uploaded, complies to all of that. The report is correct and we can vote on it. Thank you.
Councillor, with the interest of time, let's allow the meeting to continue. Now, I will call upon Councillor F. Bushiel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable.
Sorry, Speaker. 3 minutes, no?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This council is reminded that the ANC caucus abstained from voting on this current budget of 2022-23 financial year because it was unfunded. This adjustment budget before us is another attack on the poor residents of Tshwane, especially the majority in the townships. These liberal documents speak for adjusting a budget that does not speak to the resident of Tshwane. This municipality rely on deviation, which must be the last resort in terms of the service delivery rollout. We are dealing with the rollover of the unspent grants, which is direct result of administration that is clueless on issue of governance. The DA claims that wherever they govern well, but what we are seeing is the complete opposite. This racist cabal made up of the DA, FF Plus, and supported by NGO masquerading as political party called Action SA, have a clear mandate of obliterating what is left of the township. It will be indictment on the black members of the...
Sir, Councillor Bushiel, there is a point of order. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the members making their speech on the adjustment budget, but I would just like the members to withdraw the comments they made. They referred to us as racist members. Please can they withdraw that? Thank you.
Council, the council asked me to rule on this or to deal with this, so don't assist me. Councillors, let us not call each other names. Can we try to avoid that? So that we can proceed proper. Let's not use names that are not proper. Thank you very much, Councillor Bushiel.
It will be an indictment on black members of the DA to support a budget that is aimed at disadvantage the majority of black residents. Action SA is led by a rented native, so we don't expect them to have an understanding of an adjustment budget, particularly the one aimed at insulting black majority. Honorable Speaker, the draft budget is an insult to our intelligence as councillors. The residents of Tshwane are yearning to have a budget that is realistic and a budget that talks to the needs of the residents. This draft budget is unfunded. Honorable Speaker, Presently, the municipality is unable to pay creditors, and the draft budget failed to disclose the current liability, which is over 13 billion. The budget is also reflect an insufficient saving on fees cost of operation. This draft budget is unrealistic, and there is absolutely no clear intention on the part of the DA coalition to fix the finances of the municipality. So therefore, as the ANC, we reject the adjustment budget and the draft budget with the contempt itself. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bouchier of ANC. Now we move to Councillor Ace of DA. 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll give the first part of my speaking term to the Sarah, councillor from Good, and thereafter I'll conclude on my side.
Councillor Sarah.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to cut it to the chase. There's been an extensive negotiation between the coalition and Good Party for our vote. The coalition promised that they will agree to the report. There's some recommendation that we did write, and that will be tabled in the next meeting. Because the issues that we're raising, it was the issue of the generous audits funding, a return of our vote. After a careful consideration of this offer, we have come to a conclusion that the promise of a report is something that should have been done, right? It's not like, it should be a give and take kind of a situation. This morning, we learned that there was no quality certificate in terms of Section 28 of the FMA for this adjustment, of which for us, it's a very, very important certificate that we should have obtained before the budget could be tabled. And we also learned the issue of the high tariff of this budget that is going to be increased, and it's in breach of Section 28(6) of the FMA. In this budget, there's nothing that really addresses the issue of the township, not much that addresses the issue of the township, because our township there, are suffering. People are still living after 30 years. They're still living in roads that are not tight. They're struggling with water. We're struggling with electricity. So for us, as Good Party, because we really want to infiltrate and make sure that, we also be accommodating the Black Township. That's where we are going to be moving forward in terms of the election. So the fact that I only became aware of this, that, the issue of the unreasonable time that I've been raising since yesterday to say we're giving this budget in a very short time, though there is this issue that it's been put in the website. But though normally what's happening is that if a budget is being such an important document, we should have been at least got an SMS or message to say, check out the budget. It's in there. It's in our website. But that didn't happen this time around. So we have a very serious program, a concern with this. And then we just ask ourselves how much more information is still hidden that we're going to be discovering a little bit later. So I have engaged thoroughly with my leader, and Good will not for now agree to vote with this budget because of the issue of the compliance of our law. So we are, as Good Party, we really, really want compliance in terms of the law, and in particular with the FMA. It is can I say, yes. It is our position that this budget must be brought back after these issues have been raised or addressed. Mr. Speaker, for this reason, I'll be casting my vote against the adoption of this adjustment budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Thank you. Let's move on to our next speaker, Councillor Ramabudu from EFF. 3 minutes starts now.
No, thank you very much, Speaker. Accordingly, I was supposed just to wave and let's proceed because it looks good. Everything is good. Speaker and fellow councillors, before us is so-called adjustment budget report intended to revise the funding allocated for service delivery in accordance with the performance of the municipality at the mid-term period ending of December 31st, 2022. Fellow councillors, it is a disgrace for the self-respecting administration that with less than 2 months until the end of the financial year, we are running around adjusting the budget. By the way, what budget are we adjusting? Because there's no service delivery in this municipality, in the townships, in Brongospruit, in Mabopane, in Bogonot, in Soshanguve. Our people don't experience the service delivery that you talk about. In order to maintain a position of financial trajectory, it is crucial to analyze the specific areas where expenses were higher and that anticipated and implement strategies to minimize such descriptions in future. This could involve the establishment of improved monitoring process, prioritization of projects, and setting realistic budget expectation based on the historical data. For instance, in Tshwane, we have close to over 200 informal settlement, yet on the adjustment, the city is reallocating the budget from human settlement while our people in Ward 22, Gatsebe, and Donosa are living in a squatter camp and in a bad environment. The growth of informal settlement in Tshwane has become a pressing issue for the city's administration. The relocation of budget and significant concern because it means that the development and improvement of this area will be delayed in many different areas. In Ward 22, the communities of Gatsebe and Danosa are already struggling with a harsh living condition in the squatter camp and lack of essential infrastructure such as clean water, sanitation, and electricity. The EFF calls for formalization of all informal settlement to ensure that people of Olive and Mamelodi, Soshanguve, and Atteridgeville who live in informal settlement have their livelihoods developed by formalization of their areas and ensuring that they have access for basic service delivery such as water, electricity, and sanitation. It is a public knowledge that the DA-led coalition have for years neglected the poor communities of the country and focused on the attention of minority capitalist class in this country. The founding manifesto of the EFF 7 cardinal pillar and the 2021 local government manifesto, the EFF has committed itself to being the only weapon left in the hands of the poor people of South Africa, and indeed that weapon continues to be used effectively. Cheers. As we further our analysis, we aim to not identify the organizational differences, but also to recognize the areas where effectively have been affected and not maintained accordingly. The real adjustment that this municipality needs to take our people forward is the shift of the racist mentality and attitude of the multi-party coalition, which prioritize white areas at the expense of the township and informal settlement where our people live. An adjustment from the gross financial incompetence and corruption of the multi-party system that stole 10 billion irregular expenditure from the city's coffers. You stole money and you are not ashamed to come here and tell us that you can lead this city. Where is the report of the AG? When are you going to deal with it? Because under your government, there's 10 billion irregular expenditure, but because you are white, no one must question you. Imagine if it was a black government, you are going to be running around and telling us about.
Councillor, please proceed with your speech.
My speech is both here and here. So it's my speech. I'm controlling it.
So continue, Councillor.
Fellow councillors, we are sitting here with a multi-party that has underspent the budget by 3.1.
Sorry, Councillor, there is a point of order.
Where? I can continue. Yeah, he must be careful. Maybe I was going to vote, so he need to be careful.
Continue, Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, in terms of 36.2, the previous speaker has referred to the coalition members as racist, and I ask that he withdraw. And furthermore, Mr. Speaker, I find it astounding that members of the EFF claim to care for the people who live in the townships when they themselves live in the white suburbs in luxury. Thank you.
Okay, councillors, I understand that. I understand. Noted. Councillor. Councillor. Councillor, can we agree of calling each other names? Can we please stop that? I think I did mention this before. Can we, so that we don't end up dealing with the issue of calling each other names? Councillor Nhlapo, point of information. If also, sorry, Councillor. If also, can we allow each other to proceed? These point of orders and point of information that are too much, we must try, because we want to finish this and go home. We complained of long, what you call caucuses. Now there are a lot of point of orders, point of information.
Thank you, Speaker. I was just baffled by the former latter speaker who said there's a white suburb, yet he's bemoaning racism. So I'm not sure if there's an area which is demarcated a white suburb. If you may clarify us. Thank you, Speaker.
Noted. Continue, Councillor Ramabut.
Notice that there's a plan to delay this sitting by those who have noticed or who have realized that things are not going accordingly. So for the sake of progress, before people unleash money, we reject this budget. We are not going to support any of the items, and we are waiving our right to speak so that we vote quickly and we finish this thing. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Let's move to Councillor A. Bosch. Action SA, 3 minutes, please.
Yes, thank you, Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. And I firstly want to greet the House at large and everyone again for a third time to make our way out today. But let's hope today that we can find each other and we can pass this bill, because we must remember we are passing this budget not for ourselves, but for the residents of the city out there. For the residents.
Councillor, is that your speech or it's your proposal? Can you, sorry, sir, can you, come on, councillors, I don't need assistance. Okay, Councillor, continue with your speech.
Thank you, Speaker, for allowing me to continue with my 3 minutes in my speech. So yes, as Action SA, we support this budget. We look at this budget and seeing that it is indeed not a perfect budget, that this budget is indeed not ideal. But this is the budget we found ourselves today with. This is the budget we propose for the residents of the city of Tshwane, the budget that will help them go. This budget will only pave our foundation in which we are able to fulfill our responsibilities as the municipality. So we take cognizance of the financial cuts and to ensure that our budget becomes sustainable and self-efficient over time, and that these financial regulations imposed on the budget are there for the benefits of the people, to ensure that safeguards are put in place for the people of the city of Tshwane. We as Action SA do indeed note that this budget is not ideal and that it needs a lot of work to take us forward. But this budget today is the best budget for the cities or for the residents of the city of Tshwane today. And this budget will go and benefit all the people in need. And the opposition so claims that this budget is not there for the most poorest of people in townships. But I beg them differ. This budget is indeed for the people in the townships. This budget is indeed for the people of the suburbs. This budget is indeed for every single South African and every single resident in the city of Tshwane. So I urge you to reconsider your stance of not supporting this budget and support this budget for the people of Tshwane. We must take our responsibility as councillors and take the responsibility serious and vote for this budget. Thank you, Speaker. I yield back to you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bosch. Councillor, can we come down, please? Councillor, can you take your seat if you don't mind? Take your seat, please. Thank you. And Councillor or Alderman Erasmus from FF Plus. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on the budget, first of all, we would like to thank the city manager and his team, the executive mayor together with Maiko in producing this product that we've got here before us today. Of course, it was done under immense pressure, and we thank them for pulling through. Speaker, if you allow me to make a few general remarks on the budget. First of all, number one, the income streams have been realigned with the actual figures that we've seen in the midterm report, and that's done in terms of the law, that's section 28B. Then secondly, Speaker, the expenses have been strategically reworked to strike a fine balance between creating a financial sustainable city, but also ensuring that we have service delivery. Therefore, we welcome the increase in collection fees. Collection fees have been compoundly increased to 50 million. That will ensure that the city has the means to collect the monies that the city needs to chip away at the 18 billion debtors book that we currently see. Speaker, proceeding with the expenses, we would also like to welcome the decreases, specifically on stationery, postage, and even donations. Speaker, it is of critical importance that we approve this budget. We all know the stakes that are at hand, and we need to ensure that we play our legislative role as responsible members, as responsible politicians. Therefore, I plead with all political parties that we come to this council, we ensure that we agree to disagree on the adjustments budget. The city needs it, our residents need this budget. Speaker, in conclusion, this adjustments budget is not perfect, but we regard this budget, this adjustments budget, as a step in the right direction. It's another step that we take to create a financial sustainable city. But it's also an opportunity to ensure that our residents get the necessary service delivery that they need. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman Erasmus. Now, Councillor AWF Middelburg, 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Less than a year ago, I voted against this budget because it was unfunded. Revenue expectations were unrealistic, and rates and tariff increases were unreasonable. With only 4% of the operational budget that was not committed to fixed cost expenditure, budgeted to be available for service delivery, any expected under collection equal or greater to that number would completely wipe our revenue available to deliver even the anemic levels of service delivery that was promised in that budget. All these warnings came to pass, and this adjustment budget promises us nothing better. This budget was made available on Tuesday, on a day we were expected to attend council on other matters. It is part of an agenda of about 1,500 pages, all of which deals with the budget of this year and the next with profound consequences for the public purse. It is easy when you are a member of the ruling coalition. Right is everything your leadership does, and you vote as you are told. There is no need to read, consider, prepare, or to consult, and no space for healthy skepticism or critique. This practice to submit budgets too late is not just philosophically unacceptable, it is dangerous for the potential adverse financial consequences that an ill-considered budget can have. It undermines democracy, where the annual budget and the adjustment thereof is the most important decisions of the Council in any annual cycle. And it is unlawful, as our common law requires adequate notice of meetings to prepare. We know the AG report came as a big surprise, and it dealt at length with issues like, for example, the 14.5 billion in creditors and current liabilities for which there were no provisions in or accruals in the budget that was approved earlier in the cycle. The AG's findings should by now have been acknowledged and, where possible, accommodated in the adjustment. But it is not, whatever some here in Council claim to the contrary. It is as if the AG's report does not exist. There is nothing here that convincingly shows how we will ever catch up with our reality. There are a number of substantial payments made in the new financial year on account of some of that unsolicited debt from the previous financial year. There is no recognition thereof to distinguish the unauthorized payments from the regular payments on account of the current financial year. Using an adjustment budget to somehow authorize those payments is unacceptable and unlawful. In breach of Section 28, subsection 6 of the MFMA, tariffs have also been increased surreptitiously, not declared in the report, in this report. This is simply illegal. Finally, and most importantly, Mr. Speaker, the adjustments budget presented is not accompanied by a signed quality certificate of the municipal manager, whatever others in this council says, as is required by law. I am not willing to accept or condone that omission. If the municipal manager will not put his signature to a quality certificate on this budget presented, there is nothing before us to vote on. I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I would like my vote against this measure or this adjustment budget to be minuted, and I have prepared a statement that I want to accompany that minuting. If you will allow me, I'll read that statement. Otherwise, your secretary can come and secretariat can come and pick it up. I want it to be minuted with my vote. I cast this vote against the approval of the adjustments budget.
Sir, Councillor, I prefer my secretary to come and collect the statement. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want it to be on record what I say. Yes. I request something to be minuted, then it's got to be minuted.
Continue.
I cast this vote against the approval of the adjustments budget and items 2 and 3 to be considered hereafter for reasons that, 1, there is no quality certification to this adjustments budget by the municipal manager, which is a precondition to this budget being tabled in council in terms of Section 28 of the MFMA, read with Section 5 of the budget and reporting regulations of the MFMA. 2, notice given and hence the time allowed for consideration of the adjustments budget was unrealistic short, and I assert that it is humanly impossible in the time that was allowed for councillors to prepare thoroughly on these items, as we are all required by law to do. This adjustment, number 3, this adjustments budget includes tariff increases. This is simply a blatant breach of Section 28(6) of the MFMA, and I am bound to uphold the laws and the Constitution of South Africa, which I do by casting my vote against this adjustments budget. 4, in the absence of a quality certification and enough time to consider, and for the fact of the tariff increases contained herein, I assert that the consideration and approval of the adjustments budgets and item 2 and 3 is being done illegally and unlawfully, and I and my party distance ourselves from this unlawful conduct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lex. Now I'll give an opportunity either the MMC of Finance or the EM to respond, any of the two to respond, then we move to vote.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I would love to just respond to a few of the statements made and give a perspective on the adjustments budget. Now, Speaker, we were supposed to approve the adjustments budget by the 28th of February. That's what the law states. That's what the regulation states. But due to circumstances, as you are well aware, as a member of this council, at that time, there were circumstances that didn't make that possible due to the reasons that are known. And we therefore had to apply for an adjustment or an increase in the time to pass this adjustments budget, which was granted. And again, an extension, my apology, and another extension that brought us to the due date of today. Now, what an adjustments budget entails us to take is it's for all practicalities the budget that was approved last year. It's not a new budget. We can do certain aspects, and the in-year report that did serve in this council chamber in January dictates or guides where the adjustments budget will go with the under collection of revenue, which we've had, and we are therefore compelled to adjust the revenue down because of the under collection. And that's a major problem that we're facing in the city at the moment. We're not collecting, we're not increasing our revenue base, and that puts severe pressure on all aspects of the liquidity. We know our liquidity ratio is in a negative at the moment. That has even resulted in a case where National Treasury has formally written, or the Minister has formally written to the city to address this. And yes, we're not in a funded budget. We are in an unfunded budget. Treasury has given us the approval in the previous financial year to approve that unfunded budget, but we need to fix this now. And they've given us 3 years to fix and move to a funded budget. So Treasury is keeping very close eye on what is happening with our budget and giving the approval for that, for the adjustments we need to make. Now, what we can't do in our adjustments budget, we can't increase tariffs. There's no tariff increase in this budget. Tariff increases or any tariffs need to be promulgated. Those promulgated tariffs will be audited by the Auditor General, and there's a process that goes forward with that. And if any of those tariffs are increased on municipal accounts without going through that process, there will be very serious consequences. And I can assume, and we can take it for fact, that our city manager is well aware of those risks, and he will not be in a position, or he will not allow those tariffs to be increased. So there's no tariff increases. There is, however, tariff increases, proposed tariff increases that will come in the main MTREF that we will table as part of Report 3 going forward for public participation. And that report, Speaker, will deal with it when we get to that report. But there's no tariff increases. And what we can do with an adjustments budget, we can only identify savings in votes and transfer those savings to other votes that are in desperate need of them. And Speaker, there are severe consequences if we don't pass this budget. We think about the rudimentary service, the water tankers that we need to provide services. And Councillor Ramabudu did speak about the informal settlements that haven't been formalized. But the fact remains people need to receive water. And if we don't have, and we can't, there's going to have severe consequences. So those aspects have been prioritized. But it is a fact that our budget is severely cash-strained for the core functions that we are supposed to supply as a municipality, being electricity, water, sanitation, and waste collection. Those are the key factors that residents pay for, and those are the services that they must get. And this budget, for a number of years, has put a very severe cash constraint and cash liquidity strain on the municipality to provide those services. So we simply, at this point with the adjustments budget, as my one colleague, Alderman Erasmus pointed out, it's not a perfect adjustments budget because you need to try and fund areas that are underfunded and that can't be funded. But Speaker, I also want to say that the adjustments budget is one part of the value chain when it comes to service delivery. And service delivery can and must improve in the city. And I think you and I are on the same page of that as well. I know you feel very passionate about service delivery in the city as well. But it's also a lot to do, Speaker, with our execution on the budget. how we execute, how we put the plans in place to put the service delivery on the ground, not necessarily the money. Money is there in many of the cases. It's how we execute. So, Chair, in my conclusion, I want to state again that, and also I want to raise the issue of the quality certificate. The quality certificate, in terms of the municipal budget regulations, read with Section 28 of the MFMA, states that the headings that needs to be in the report. The quality certificate is not a prerequisite to be signed for this council meeting. It's for National Treasury. The quality certificate goes to National Treasury. You can go back in previous years and see the same. The report as is correct. The quality certificate, once we approve this report in council, the city manager will sign and submit to National Treasury. And on terms of the tariff increases, Chair, there are no tariff increases in this budget. We simply can only move funds from one vote to another vote and to fund some of the expenses. Chair, I think the other parts we'll deal with when we come to the main budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is Ian.
Thank you, Speaker. Will you permit me just to close this item? Thanks very much, Speaker. I think it's incumbent on me to also comment on this debate. There seems to be two broad arguments raised against this adjustments budget as it's been tabled. The first is that the adjustments budget does not adequately meet the needs of service delivery of the people of Tshwane. Complaints about certain areas being excluded, poor services, and so forth. Let me just say in answer to that, the adjustments budget cannot appropriate new funds. You cannot make bold new policy decisions and choices through an adjustments budget. It is a very limited role in terms of the MFMA. And that role, Speaker, in this instance, is to place the city on a sound financial footing so that over time, we can address the concerns of the Auditor General and we can improve services. The second argument, Speaker, is that the budget, even adjusted, is not funded. But the irony of that argument is that if we do pass this adjustments budget, the budget will become less underfunded. So yes, it's not an ideal situation, but this adjustments budget is a sincere attempt to put the city on a road to financial recovery. And Speaker, that is why National Treasury has granted their stamp of approval to this budget. And it's very important that we note that. Chair, then, Speaker, then there are the sets of arguments raised by Councillor Middelburg, which are completely different to what has been raised by the official opposition. He complains that the notice of this budget and its contents were delivered too late. He says it's humanly impossible to study this. Now, I think, Speaker, with all due respect, that is an exaggeration in and of itself. Councillor Middelburg is in the legal fraternity. He has surely read more pages in a shorter period of time than what is contained in this adjustments budget. Let's also realize that this adjustments budget had to be prepared in a truncated period of time. We were all under pressure to do this. We applied our minds as best we could to meet the deadline obtained by the city manager of the 14th of April, today, in order to put a coherent adjustments budget before council. As my colleague MMC Sutton has made it clear, the adjustments budget contains everything that needs to be there in terms of the MFMA. And Speaker, if it did not, National Treasury would have cited it. National Treasury would not have said to us that they approve this adjustments budget. That leaves Councillor Middelburg in the difficult situation as to explain why would National Treasury approve a technically, legally defective adjustments budget. The answer is because there is no defect, Speaker. There is no defect. Speaker, in conclusion, let us consider the consequences of not passing an adjustments budget. I refer to the permission granted by National and Provincial Treasury, the extension granted to us to the 14th of April today to do this. If we do not pass this adjustments budget, we create the conditions for grant funding to be withheld from this municipality. That will have significant implications on service delivery, on all of our services. National Treasury also has the option of withholding the equitable share. If we do not pass this adjustments budget, we will incur, in all likelihood, further.
May I take your minute, EM? Councillor Ramabudu, what is that? Is that a point of order?
No, I think we heard what the EM is saying. There's no need for the state of the city address. We are fine. Can we not give a speech? And the rules are there. They are clear.
Thank you, Councillor. He was just finishing. Can you allow him to conclude, please? So continue, EM.
Thanks very much, Speaker. As I was saying, if we fail to pass this adjustments budget, the city will in all likelihood incur further unauthorized expenditure because we're outside of realistic budget revenue projections. We need to make these changes. If we don't pass this adjustments budget, we will go further down the path which leads to a poor audit outcome. And that's why I would urge councillors to support this adjustments budget. We have to place the city on a sound financial footing. If we don't do it, we will certainly contribute to the further deterioration of services. Let's not do that. Let us do the right thing. Let's put the city on a right, sound financial footing and build a capital city that works for all of its people. I thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Councillors, honorable councillors, it should be noted that accordance with section 160(3)(b) of the Constitution. Yes, Councillor.
Yeah, let me just also remind you, the Speaker, from the ANC side, we have indicated that we are rejecting the budget and we would like our name to be registered against this budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Honorable councillors, it should be noted that in accordance with section 160(3)(b) of the Constitution, the passing of the adjustment budget must be taken by council with the supporting vote of a majority of council members, i.e., at least 108 councillors in the case of the city of Tshwane. I will therefore now subject the approval of this adjustment budget to the vote. For the purpose of this voting process, I am requesting councillors who support the recommendations to raise their hands so that they can be counted.
Regina? Va?
Now you can lower your hands then, please. Honorable councillors, as it was indicated earlier before, that for the passing of this budget, at least we need 108 councillors in the case of the city of Tshwane. Now we have done the voting and the numbers are that 107, then therefore this budget has not passed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Let's proceed with our meeting. Now we are moving to item. I cancel. Let's move to item number 2. Reference number 337401. City Strategy and Organizational Performance Department proposed adjustment of 2022-2023 service delivery and budget implementation plan, SDBIP. This report is on 153 to 275, recommendations on 166. In this item, I've got 3 speakers. From ANC, Councillor Liwele.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. We have already made our input earlier on. We are going to waive. But let me just also remind the Mayor, our Honorable Mayor, that the National Treasury or the Treasury does not approve the budget. The budget is approved by Council here. So I'm just reminding him, he might have forgotten. I know that he is a very experienced councillor, but this one has slipped. So we don't want to be misled as councillors here. The National Treasury only put notes or comments on the budget, and they have advised them to make sure that the budget must be funded. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I understand that Councillor Ramabudu, you waive as well, as you said earlier on.
I can't wait. I can't wait before I say I feel very good.
Let's move on. The next speaker, Alderman A. Kisinduk from Action SA.
Thank you, Speaker. The Executive Mayor
the Chief Whip of Council, members of the Mayoral Committee, Chair of Chairs, Chairperson of the Section 79 committees, fellow councillors, the City Manager and senior officials present, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Action SA, I greet you all in the loving name of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I count this a privilege to speak on this item. The department proposed adjustment of the 2022-23 Service Delivery and Budget Implementation Plan SDBIP. This is a very important report because it deals with the plans for service delivery of our city. This plan allows us and allows all the councillors to check what plans and the budget for the wards in our metro. This report also is designed to check on our performance of our senior managers and departments, that they achieve the desired outcomes of the desired outcomes to the residents of our city. The Mayoral Committee recommended the adjustments for the 22-23 Service Delivery and Budget Implementation Plan, the SDBIP, targets and indicators, taking into account our financial situation of our city. That's had to be done. Executive Mayor, going forward, we would hope that this will change when the financial situation of our city grows. This will allow the officials to do their job. Thus, the residents would receive the service delivery throughout our city. We must collect all monies that are due to the city and also make sure that all grants given by national and province is utilized. I hope going forward, the Section 79 Committee for IDP holds the department accountable for service delivery to our residents. And all Section 79 committees also take an oversight over all departments. If we work together, this city will be the best city in Gauteng and the best in our country. In the Bible, in the 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn away from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, forgive the sins, and heal the land. Executive Mayor, the city of Tshwane needs healing. God bless you all. I thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the last speaker on this item. As recommended. Yes. Let's move to item number 3.
Didn't hear us.
No.
We said no.
We said no.
What proposal?
September.
We want all the
order.
No, what?
Can they vote?
Councillors. Councillors, when I ask, when we finished with Alderman from the Action SA to give speech, I said that was the last speech, and I said as recommended. No one said no. Okay. All right. Okay. Can we? Alderman Maluleng.
This the
Speaker,
let's be clear. Therefore, when you deal with budget,
can we allow him to speak?
it's fine. Don't be quiet. It's okay. Speaker, you cited a particular section that gives a rider on what we need to do now. Therefore, if you are asking at the end of your submission there, then you are expecting yeses and nos. Now, there's nothing automatic here. But those yeses and nos, they don't supersede what the law says. I don't know what is it that you're testing with yeses and nos, but they do not supersede what the law says. But you still need 108 tenths to determine what you are doing. Therefore, if you are thinking that yeses and nos are determining, we can divide the house. It's okay then.
Ramabudu.
No, we need to just.
Councillors, can I explain something? Can I explain something? Can I explain something? I noted you, Councillor Makalen. When I said at least 108 councillors in the case of City of Tshwane, I meant on the first report. The second report and the third report and the fourth report are draft that has to go to the community participation. Then when they come back, that is when we'll be able to vote on them. Then in that point, the 108 applies on those three reports. But now it's a draft so that it can go for a public participation. Councillor Alderman Malulega, then Councillor Katleb, Councillor Ramabudu after that. Who's going first? Councillor? No, let me start with Councillor Malulega.
Thanks, Chair. You can divide the house. Let's determine the outcome. We can determine the house. No, you're not a deputy speaker. You can't be rowdy. You can't be rowdy. You don't want us in this meeting. You don't want us in this meeting. No, if you don't want us in the meeting, say so. I don't want to speak. We've got the right to speak. No. I'm not going to speak because of offense says I must speak. I'm going to speak whether you say yes or no. No, I raise the hand. No, you're not the speaker. You're not the speaker.
Councillors. Councillor MMC offensive, please. Councillors, let's allow Councillor Floyd. Councillor Floyd, please take your seat. Councillor Floyd. Alderman Maluleka, finish what you said.
Yeah, Speaker. I'm not going to be intimidated easily. I'm not intimidated. I tell these people all the time in meetings where we are 6 or 5. I'm not scared. No, I'm not scared. These people, I'm not scared.
MMC. Councillor, Alderman Malulega, can you take your seat, please? Can you take your seat? MMC, can you be quiet when other people are speaking? There's no but. Wait, councillors, can you be quiet? Councillors, please, MMC, when someone is speaking, don't speak. Raise your hand when you have a concern. There is no but. When someone is speaking, you keep quiet, allow that person to speak. When you've got a problem on what he's saying, you raise your hand. Thank you. Councillor Makhaleni. Oh, okay. Sorry, Councillor Makhaleni. Councillor. Oh, I was interrupted here. Thank you very much, councillors. All right. Sit down, councillor. Alderman Maluleka, please conclude. Councillors, people are allowed to go to the bathroom. Don't be like that, councillors. People are allowed to go to the bathroom. Alderman Maluleka, conclude, please.
Yeah, we need to have English classes with Councillor Fotsi. That guys is not derogatory. It's an English reference to a person. So when I'm saying guys, I'm not insulting you. I said guys. For these people, you are people. You are people. Okay, you want English classes?
Councillor Maluleka, can you please conclude with what you wanted to say? Please. Conclude.
Chair, I think you saw what city manager is doing. He's trying to teach MMC for finance what is right. And continue with what you are doing. You are doing an illegal act. We are leaving you. You are not going to take that draft to the public because it would have not been passed by council. Continue. It's fine.
Councillor Ramagud.
No, Speaker, we are not running an underground mafia arrangement here. We are in council. You explain how those reports are going to be voted, right? You said to us, in terms of the legislation, it has to have a 108 majority. And you haven't mentioned a report from report number 1, and each of report you didn't give it its way on how we must conduct it. So you told us that we have 4 items, and they were tabled by the executive mayor and those items yesterday. And none of you or anyone who told us on report number 1 we need 108, on report number 2 we want yes or no. There's nothing like that. We'll have to follow the same pattern from report number 1 to the last report. We require a majority of 108. Otherwise, what you are doing is illegal, and anyone who is giving you those advices is misleading you. Why that person was not giving you to allow yes or no when we were voting item number 1. So all these items must be voted through 108. This is illegal. This is illegal. This is illegal. We are not going to agree. We are not going to agree. We can leave you with these people and you continue with illegal things here. Yes, yes. People don't have number.
Councillors, can you allow me 5 minutes, please? Councillors, thank you very much. Can we proceed, please? Please take your seats. Councillor Makhaleni, if then you are still taking us back to item number 2, then we are moving on now to item number 3. Councillor Ratukon.
Speaker, want to put it on record that what is happening now and the ruling that you've just made while people were settling down, we are not comfortable with it. We cannot accept that anything that has got budget implications should be passed with a simple yes or no. We cannot allow that. And as a result, 108 needs to be a standard barometer that must be enforced so that the report can be adopted or rejected. Thank you very much.
Yes, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just on a point of information, to just get some clarity on this voting issue. In terms of the Structures Act, Section 30, all questions concerning matters mentioned in Section 162 of the Constitution, and those are the following: the passing of bylaws, the approval of budgets, the imposition of rates and other taxes, levies and duties, and the raising of loans. Those must be voted for by a majority of the councillors. That means a majority of the seats in council, which is 214. That means it's 108. All other matters, we need a majority of votes cast. That means if there are 213 people present here today, you need 107 as a majority. What? May you please protect me, Speaker? Can you protect me? Speaker, can you protect me, please? May I just...
Please carry on.
May I just conclude? Only... No, you can't have a point of order on a point of information. Thank you. Speaker, so the first item we needed...
There's a point of information. When he's done, I'll call you, Councillor Ramabut. Finish it up, please.
Thank you, Speaker. So just for item 1, it was necessary to have 108 votes. For the other items on the agenda, we just need a majority of votes. That means majority of councillors present in this chamber. Thank you, Speaker. Simple majority.
Thank you, Councillor Ramabut.
Speaker, I remember we were here at the day the multi-party decided to walk out and went to the parking there, to the basement. And
listen. Councillors, MMC, this is the last time I say this. When someone is speaking, can you keep quiet? If you want to say something, talk to me. Umdala. Ubukade uhleli pha. Uburight ukuhawula pha. So now you are here. So everybody that sits here behaves like adults. So umdala, when you want to speak, speak to me. Speak to me when you want to speak. So please, let's councillors, we are only left with few items to finish. We can't stay here until 5 o'clock. We need to finish these items. Is it your first time to hear the word umdala? Come on, guys. Thank you very much. Councillor Ramabut, you have done. Are you done? Or you are continuing?
I was rudely interrupted by security guards of White Monopoly. The security that is bouncers that are permanently ready to defend whiteness. So I'm saying the day they walked out, we remain here and Bamdala. We remain here. We were only 107. So we couldn't reach quorum, and the city manager advised us there that it's not done. We even argued with him that we are no more 214, we are 213. He said it doesn't work like that. It works with the number of seats that you have in council. So in terms of the budget, I can see you and Mr. Tema, maybe you are convincing each other. It's your right. I'm not going to enter into your space. Tell me, maybe you must clarify us, on the items that we have tabled, which one requires the vote that requires on a budget and which one is not a budget? Because according to my knowledge, and I can be corrected, all of them falls under a budget. And why should we vote them differently? Why others must be that if people say yes or no? Why on the first item you didn't do those yes and no? And which one? Maybe if we pass this one, which is illegal, you can do it. The third one and the fourth one, what is your intent approach or the plan of how we must vote? But I can tell you, all of them, according to my knowledge, they fall under budget and they require 108 in this council. None of them requires yes or no. And those tendencies were made by the previous speaker on a visual, Mr. Magwarela, the time when things were well, before they could drop the bomb. So we are asking that maybe get a guidance from even, you can get a legal opinion if need be, because we can't continue like that and we feel like you are doing an illegal thing. Unless if maybe you can explain it differently or I can get convinced. But I don't understand, how do you think people who are 107 can pass a budget? Where? With yes or no? Why? It's not like we are voting a report that is normal. This is a very different report in terms of the legislation. It's very different and we need to follow it accordingly, Speaker. So I see us doing wrong things, but with the decision that you have taken, we don't have a problem. We can move. But give us an explanation. Which legislation did you rely on passing that second report with that approach? Then we'll be happy, because we are confident that the first report, we passed it with the majority, which is 108. It failed with 107 and it required 108. Thanks.
Point of order. Councillor Makalen. Is it a point of order? Okay. Let's start with him then.
Speaker, I'm raising on a point of order in terms of section 40. You have made a ruling. Those who are against your ruling, they should refer it to rules and orders so that the determination can be made. So thank you very much on that. I hope we can move forward.
Yeah, it's me.
That's wishful.
Yeah, Speaker, we will ignore the 69 votes people who usually get things wrong. We'll write to the city manager, the accounting officer, it's called the accounting officer. We'll write to him that he will not change those things because they didn't get 108. We'll do that. Thank you.
He said that.
Speaker.
He didn't provide clarity on your question.
So can we get clarity? We have moved on with that with that haste that just happened, we want to know the third report and the fourth report, what is the approach? We are of the view that it needs a majority.
Noted.
Now respond to it.
MNC Kingsley, while I'm still waiting for Mr. Tema.
Thank you, Speaker. On a point of information, I refer you to section 19 on page 36. The Speaker must disallow a motion or proposal if his or her opinion that the motion or proposal may lead to the discussion of matter on agenda that has already been dealt with. Speaker, please, we dealt with the matter. You get additional proposals. You cannot allow that. The rule book says you cannot.
Thank you. Councillors. Councillors, can I then refer the councillors to the recommendations of these items? So the item number 2, we are done with it. Now we are going to move on to item number 3. Please go to the recommendations, because these items are for public comment. So you're still raising your hand. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, you know, because you were a backbencher with us here, I thought you'd be very sympathetic to us here at the back, and you'll be able to notice us. You will be the first one to notice us. If you had done that, you would have heard that we had said no here. And because there's councillors there that you concentrate on, you are making the mistake that Makwarela has been making. You did not notice it, and now you've moved on with that item. So I want to remind you that there are councillors, there are no super councillors in this council. There are councillors also here at the back. Listen to us, to all of us, then you'll hear those of us who say no and yes. So it is important that you must do that, council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor, and I apologize for not seeing your hands or for not hearing you saying no. I apologize on that, and I know for being back there, no one notices most of the times. But I apologize. From now on, I want to repeat what I did. Councillor?
Just on clarity, on which basis are you moving on? Just your indulgence, on which basis are you moving on?
Councillors, the Councillor Ramabut. Yes. If I may read, I should be noted that accordance to with section 163B of the Constitution, the passing of adjustment budget, the item section 60 speaks of the adjustment budget, where we need a majority of 108 as the city of Tshwane. Pardon me? Then the second item, which reads as follows: City Strategy and Organizational Performance Department proposed adjustment of the 22-23 service delivery and budget implementation plan, that is SDBIP. And it's in item page 153 to 275. And that one, we have recommendations on 166, where I've asked if it can be as recommended. And my move from that item, I didn't get no. No, I'm not. Listen, councillors. Listen, councillors. I'm not saying you didn't say no, but I'm saying I didn't get your no. I didn't hear your no. I'm not saying you didn't say no, but I didn't hear the no. Councillors. Yes, Councillor Matebu.
Speaker, you said you didn't hear the no. But Speaker, you're not listening to me. Yes, Speaker, you are saying that you didn't hear the no. But we are telling you that we did say no. It is not our problem that you didn't hear us speak. We can't move. We said no. So divide the house, please.
Speaker, they should have used their mics.
Speaker, it should also not be a problem that they are not speaking loud.
Please carry on with the next item. We need to finish this. Thank you.
There's a reason we've got microphones. Use them.
I say some that. Also, you know how I want to.
Councillors, can we please move on? Item number 3 and item number 4, they don't need 108. We will go to item number 3. Can we move on, councillors? It's only 2 items. Item number 3. Councillor Ramabut.
Can we not be made fools, please? You need anyone who comes and say item number 3 and number 4 doesn't need 108 must tell us which legislation. One, because yeah, which one? And then what made the item number 1 to only require 108 alone? So tell us, because it's written where, if we don't know, educate us, including those who are howling, they can educate us so that we know. Because we are trying to check if all those items, they don't fall under a budget or what. And if you adjust the budget or you move the funds, it takes you exactly to the 108 because you are moving funds. It doesn't matter whether it's public participation or what. No, wait, man.
Okay, councillors, MMC, setting.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, I rise in terms of section 38, point of information. Items 3 and 4 are only being tabled according to section 16 of the MFMA. Mayor needs to table the budget, the MTREF, for public participation. Adoption will only take place in May. That's when we will vote on the budget. So therefore, in terms of rule number 30, I move that you proceed to the next order of business and we get on to voting or adopting the report 3. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, councillors. Can we then move on? Can we then move on? Reference number 51221/1, City Strategy of Organizational Performance Department, tabling of the City of Tshwane draft 2023-2024 review of the 2022 to 2026 Integrated Development Plan, that is IDP. The report is on 276563. Recommendations on 284. As recommended. Thank you. There is no. Councillor Bushel. Can someone who's using a mic to come off, please? Can you switch off the mic?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We can see that there are a lot of confusion here. So from our side, the ANC caucus, we would like to register our dissenting vote on this matter. So we are against the matter as tabled. Thank you very much.
Councillor Ramabut.
No, it's fine. We as the EFF, we are not supporting anything that is tabled here. And why are you laughing? That's why they failed to make you MMC. It's last time. You think the big stomach can make you to be an MMC? Yes, yes. So he's forcing me to body shame. I'm sorry to other colleagues. Now I'm saying we are not supporting this item, and we must register our dissenting vote. We are not part. We are not supporting. Thanks.
Is there anyone who wants to register their dissenting vote? No. Let's move to item 4. Reference now. Councillor Ratukan.
Speaker, I don't know what is happening. You are creating chaos. You can't say you note that there is no and there is yes. Then you say you are moving to item 4. Yeah. What is that? What is that? Because the point is that we need to understand what is the conclusion of report number 3. Yes. And you noting dissenting votes does not necessarily amount to a decision that has been taken on a certain report. And this thing that is happening is going to end up collapsing the decorum of this.
Okay. What? That's where I'm going now. And on item number 3, we had yes and no's. Pardon me? On item number 3, there was. Councillor, I noted you, Councillor Ramabud. Okay, before I grant you the caucus, when we're on item number 3, you said no. Then the ANC, councillor Alderman Malulek, please. There was no and yes. Then when I was about to divide the house, then the ANC, they raised their position in this item, and also the EFF, the very same people that have said no. All right. Okay, councillors, let's do this way. Councillors, I'll deal with this issue when we come back from the 10 minutes caucus of the EFF. Thank you. They've requested a caucus, so I'm allowed to give them a caucus. So 10 minutes. Sure. Councillors. 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 Tema. Tema. Please, councillors, may you please sit down. Tema. Can we sit down, councillors? Councillors, may we please take our seats? May we please take our seats? Take your seats, councillors, please. My apologies for those people who are supposed to speak on item number 3. There were people that were supposed to speak there, and I believe that we have already passed item number 3. So we are moving. Item number 4. Councillor Makhaleni.
No, we agree, but the indolence of not reading the reports by EFF must not make us stuck.
Makhaleni, don't, please. Councillor Makhaleni, don't. Let's move on. It's this comment doesn't help us. Let's move to item number 4, reference number 14950/1. Group Financial Services Department, budget of the division, office division, draft 2023-2024 media term revenue and expenditure framework for the city of Tshwane. It's on page 568, 143, recommendations on 590. And on this item, I've got 5 speakers. Councillor Buikanyo from the ANC, 3 minutes. Alderman?
We waive our right to speak.
Thank you. Let's move to Councillor B. Disilwan. Councillor Disilwan.
Sorry, my brother. We are fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move to Action SA. Councillor K. Khositsile. Finally, I got your surname right today. Councillors, please, Councillor Nhlapo.
No, thanks, Speaker. You tried a lot this time. Thank you. Speaker, we reserve our right to speak on this report. However, we
councillors, I can't hear him. The last time I checked, I don't have Thabo Bester in this house. So can I then listen to him, please? Can I be allowed to do that? Thank you, Councillor.
Oh, no, thanks. Speaker, we reserve our right to speak on this one.
but we do report we do support this report, that it go for participation in the public. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Alderman A. Erasmus from FF Plus.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We waive our right to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Michelberg, RC2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will be short. This might be the tabling of a draft budget, but if it is fundamentally flawed, it remains open to be challenged, especially if what it contains is unlikely to be fixed as a result of public participation. This proposed budget blandly presupposes that cutting our expenditure by only 3 billion will be adequate to place the city on the right course into a future of financial health. It makes this claim without any attempt to justify that figure on a basis of fact. The proposed 3 billion cut in expenditure will only reduce expenditure to be arguably within the scope of reasonably anticipated revenue, all other things being equal, which it is not. Our current liabilities is 6 times that amount of 3 billion as of today. There is no indication in this proposed draft budget how the carry forward of current liabilities from the 2021 financial year, which has not been substantially reduced during the current financial year, will be dealt with in the next financial year. Nor is there a realistic appraisal of the likely outstanding current debt at the end of this financial year and any provision for accruals into the next year, simply because there will be no surplus funds available at the end of the year for that purpose. The result is that this budget, like the last, is still unfunded and is set to continue the financial distress we experience at present without any let-up. There is no point in proposing a budget that will not set us on a path to resolve our financial distress. Mr. Speaker, please minute my vote against this draft budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the list for the people to speak. As recommended, the yes has it. Councillor Bouchier.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As the ANC, we registered our names against this draft budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Ramabud.
Thank you, Speaker. You know, when they serve a meal and there's a fresh meat, you just pick the fresh meat, then you leave the other sides because the real meat, we are done with the real meat, and we are sending our dissenting vote. So we are happy with number 1, what we are proper. They can stay with those things.
Thank you very much, councillors. Honorable councillors, I thank you for your valuable inputs during this meeting. And then the meeting is concluded. This meeting is adjourned.